Hey everyone, so I'm working on the next step in the process, which is actually creating kind of applique shapes for the blocks themselves, and I kind of wanted to, switch it up and have a few different cupcake shapes. So I was looking at some different examples online and drew some different ones to work with, just using a piece of paper and a regular mechanical pencil. So I have the templates already drawn out, and I put them on a little bit heavier cardstock so that they're easier to work with. You can also use cardboard if you have that handy, but I'm just using heavier paper, and I separated them. As you can see, they went together like this to create the shape. But for the applique, I'm just going to do the first part here, and this is actually the bottom of the cupcake, and what I'm going to do is actually outline it using a disappearing ink marker. And on the top here, because there is going to be a shape that goes over the top of it, I'm just going to make it kind of straight across, and I'm going to make this a little bit larger. So when I go ahead and cut it out, I'm actually going to cut it out further away from the actual shape as well. So I'm going to cut out a few of these for the bottom of the cupcake, and then I will pick a different fabric and do the top as well. Okay, so I have the pieces actually cut out here. They're separate. I oversized them just slightly, about 1/4 of an inch all the way around my templates. And what I'm going to do is actually sew them in separate pieces. I've got a square cut here. It's probably about 14 inches, and I'm going to end up cutting it down a little bit here. But I have some all-purpose thread, and I usually try to match it to whatever color I'm working on. I'm going to use the gray for the purple, but the first thing I'm going to start on is actually the bottom of the cupcake, and I'm just going to pin this in the center here. And I'm going to actually turn the edges in as I'm working, about 1/4 of an inch all the way down while I'm working on it, and once I finish that all the way around here, I'll be done with that, and I'm not going to actually do anything to the top because that's going to be covered by the next applique over the top. And I'm going to actually use a special stitch for that and try to keep the stitches as close as possible so that it becomes kind of an invisible stitch. Okay, so I have this ready to go, and I'm just turning over the edge. You can actually iron it, or you can finger press it, whichever's easiest for you. And I'm just going to go ahead and start with that. I am using a single length of actual thread here, and I just threaded it, and there's like a little tail there. And then I put just a tiny knot at the end, and then I'm going to go ahead and kind of work with this where it's underneath, and then I'm going to bring it so it actually hits the edge when I'm sewing. So it's going to pretty much make the thread as invisible as possible, and usually you want to pick something that will kind of disappear into what you're working on. And here is the completed block. As you can see, I have the bottom cupcake part already done, and I went ahead and just laid over the top the rest of the cupcake, and the hardest part is actually doing the little curves. If I did more of these, I think I would go ahead and make it less curvy because it's a little hard to follow. And then what I did is I actually used a disappearing ink fabric marker, and I wrote out a name in cursive, and then I used an embroidery stitch, which is just a basic back stitch, to do kind of an outline of a name. So if you guys are interested in learning how to do a back stitch so you can do kind of embroidery on some of your own projects, just let me know and I'll do a video separately on that. But that's the completed block, and I'll show you guys what some of the rest of the blocks look like soon with an update on how the quilt's going together. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!